Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Today I have for you this beautiful, colorful Easter wreath made with a sign I completely transformed from the Dollar Tree. This wreath can be made totally from materials from the Dollar Tree. This one is chocked full of colorful deco mesh, embellished with multicolored snowball tulle, and adorned with the bunny egg sign from the Dollar Tree. I love this one, and I hope you do too. Welcome back to my subscribers and to all stopping by my channel today. I'm so pleased you're here. If you enjoy this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. Okay, let me show you how I created this beautiful wreath. This is the bunny sign that I referred to from the Dollar Tree. I completely transformed this sign, and it was quite easy to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did that in just a bit. I have here an assortment of scrapbook papers. I'm going to be transforming the eggs on that sign by covering them with different types and patterns of scrapbook paper. So I have an assortment there, but obviously I just covered the eggs that are on this sign. I just was showing you some options there. Now, if you don't want to bother going to get scrapbook paper, you could simply paint those eggs, and you could use a dauber to put polka dots on them, or you could paint stripes on them. You could, completely do over those eggs. Okay, now what I chose to do for the ears of my bunny is I chose to wrap them. Perhaps you might recognize this fur. It was a yarn fur that I used to make the bunny that I made in a previous video. Now you could as well use white yarn, and that you could find at the Dollar Tree. There I have a 14-inch wire wreath frame, again from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm using Hobby Lobby Deco Mesh because it was 40% off, but you can get the Deco Mesh to make this wreath from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to suggest that you get 2 rolls per color. I only used about maybe 2/3 of a roll, if that, and I used 4 or 5 different rolls, 5 different colors. As you can see there, an orchid, a purple, blue, white, and pink, all of which you could find at the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to suggest that you get 2 rolls per color so that you can really fill your wreath full of deco mesh. I have there some letters that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. Now, they do have different types of letters at the Dollar Tree, or you could stencil letters, or you could use any sticker letters that you might have. I just thought that those eggs needed to be covered up and made more attractive, and then place a different type of lettering on the eggs. Now, that was my choice, and it was also my choice to wrap the ears. But I think if you look at the wreath, you'll see that that sign has a lot of potential just by adding some scrapbook papers and yarn and some letters. I have here some beautiful ribbons. Now, I didn't end up using all of those, but I'm showing you some options. These are 2 Celebrate ribbons from Michaels. Absolutely phenomenal ribbons. I got those on sale, buy 2, get 2 free, week before last. That's another Celebrate ribbon. I did use several different ribbons on this piece, as you'll see. That's a Hobby Lobby ribbon. It's in the spring department, but it's very pretty for an Easter wreath. That's a nice wired ribbon. And again, that's in the spring section at Hobby Lobby, which is 40% off. That's a Hobby Lobby ribbon, which I purchased as well during the 40% off of ribbons. And these are Dollar Tree snowball tulle rolls. And I absolutely love these on a wreath. They add texture and a beautiful color. And I just think they are just gorgeous on a wreath. So I have some Easter eggs there, which I decided after I applied the sign and all of my Deco Mesh bundles that I didn't really need the eggs. And I think that the sign and the beauty of the Deco Mesh was enough to really make that wreath gorgeous. So I'm saving those eggs for another project. You'll need your regular crafting tools, your scissors, Aileen's Techie Glue. You're going to need some Mod Podge to put on the scrapbook papers if you choose to use them. A heat gun to get rid of some of the tags on everything. And I put on fresh pom-poms, or what do you call those pom-poms? I guess you call them, yes, pom-poms. I put on some that are a little bit bigger. I had some in my stash, but you could keep those and just use the heat gun to get them off so that you can paint and apply your papers, or if you want to paint your eggs and maybe polka dot them or put gems on them. Oh, you could just use so many different things to decorate your eggs. Now, I tried to get that wood piece off of the bottom, and I was afraid I was going to really just destroy the whole sign. So I elected to just keep it, and I made a pattern. Now, there's 2 sizes of eggs on that sign. So what I did was I took just a regular piece of copy paper. I laid it over each of the eggs. Well, I actually only needed 2 eggs, 2 patterns, because there's 3 small eggs and 3 large. Yes. So I kind of held it up to the light and I traced around the egg. And I just made a template like that with the small and the large eggs so that I could use that as a pattern to trace around on my scrapbook paper. And those were the 2 patterns, and I marked them accordingly so that I could use those as my patterns. And that worked beautifully, very easy. Now, you won't need those if you're not using scrapbook paper. If you want to paint them instead, then you can skip the pattern for the egg. Now, you can see there, I went ahead, traced around my eggs on the scrapbook paper, my pattern, I should say, on my scrapbook paper, and I cut them out. And so now I am going to completely give this sign a new look using my scrapbook papers. Now, I did mix it up. I had different size polka dots. I think I had a stripe, I believe. Now, I'm going to start wrapping the ears of my bunny. Now, I had a lot of this furry yarn, which I purchased at Hobby Lobby on their 30% off week. And I just love this yarn. It is just like a strip of fur. It's just wonderful to work with. And I thought that those bunnies would look so cute with furry ears. Now, I mentioned before, you could use yarn, and that would be very cute as well. That you could pick up at the Dollar Tree. Now, I just put a dab of glue to get my fur started there and anchor it to the ears, and then I just wrapped it. And when I got to the top, I used a little bit more glue when I got to the top just to close off the tips of the ear. Now, with this furry yarn, it does have kind of a backing, a fabric backing. So if you use this yarn, I just made sure to apply the fabric backing right directly to the ear. And as I wrapped it, I pushed away the fur so that every piece that I wrapped around, there, you saw me doing that, was going to adhere right to the bunny's ear. I didn't have to use much glue in this process, just at the beginning and at the end when I got to the top of the ears. And this just looks so cute. These bunny ears wrapped in fur. And again, you could leave them like they are. I just, when I go to Dollar Tree, I see a sign, but I see something else, if you understand what I mean by that. I always have an idea to do something to everything, basically. And so that's pretty much what I did to this sign, and I think it just turned out so adorable. Now I'm showing you here a bundle that I already created. Look at the effect that that snowball tool has on a deco mesh bundle. I put it right on top of every bundle, and it just adds so much to this wreath. I cut my sections of deco mesh in 16-inch pieces. I put 3 pieces of deco mesh per bundle and 1 piece of tulle. Now, I do have the 5 colors, so I was mindful to mix it up. I mixed my bundles up, the colors. I'm doing this one in particular with blue and orchid and white. So the next one I would do with pink and purple and maybe white and a different color of the snowball mesh, or the snowball tool, I'm sorry. I think they call it mesh on the package, but it's actually a tool. And again, 16-inch pieces, 3 pieces per bundle, and 1 piece of tulle. I'm going to cut the tulle in 16-inch pieces as well. This is such an easy project. It really just consists of creating the bundles and giving that sign a makeover. Now I'm going to use the woodland method, so I'm going to roll the end of my deco mesh up, the raw edge. The factory edge is on the left and the right. I roll it up 2 to 3 times, and then I scrunch it up the center, meet it up with the other end where I put the clip from the first roll. I'll show you that again. And the key to this wreath and these bundles is just to mix up your colors. Put them in different order in your bundles. Roll it up 3 times, scrunch it up with my fingers. I place my thumbs down and then just crawl up that deco mesh with my fingers. Clip it all together. And now I'm going to put the 3rd piece. Roll it up 2 to 3 times. Take your clip. I buy my clips at the Dollar Tree, but you could use a clothespin. You could even use a chip clip. It really doesn't matter. Roll it up 3 times. Press my thumbs down, scrunch it up by walking my fingers all the way up to the other end, and then clip that so it stays closed and secure. Now I'm going to take my tool, and I'm just going to scrunch that. I'm not going to roll it up on the ends. I'm just going to scrunch it all the way up from one end to the other. And I'm going to pop that right on top of my bundle, as you'll see here in a minute. Now I'm going to take all of my bundles and place them together. So as I put the bundle or each of the tool or the mesh, I'm sorry, I can't talk tonight. The mesh colors upon one another, I take the clip off, hold it nice and tight. Remember that snowball tool goes on top. And I take a pipe cleaner and wrap it around. Now, I started out using a half a pipe cleaner, but those bundles with the 3 meshes, the deco meshes, and the tool, it really left me with very little tails to attach it to the wire wreath frame. Now, again, I'm using Hobby Lobby deco mesh, and their deco mesh is very stiff, and it's, bulky compared to the Dollar Tree. You probably could get by with using a half a pipe cleaner from the Dollar Tree mesh. Now, I use 16 bundles on my wreath. I'm going to estimate that you should use around 24 bundles if you're going to use Dollar Tree Deco Mesh. This will give you a nice full application by just adding a few more of those. I would get 2 rolls per color. And I proceeded to do all of my bundles, all 16 of them, just the way I showed you that I did that bundle. Now here's my bunny ears. Oh my gosh, I love this. And I have all of my scrapbook papers ready to adhere to my sign, and I'm going to use Mod Podge. I put mine in a squirt bottle. I use a sponge applicator, easily found at the Dollar Tree. I buy all my sponge applicators there. As I mentioned before, you could totally make this wreath from materials from the Dollar Tree. You just might have to figure another way to do your eggs if you want to change those. Now I'm going to put a nice layer of Mod Podge over my eggs, one at a time. Not too thick, not too thin. Make sure I go all the way out to the edges. Now for the letters on that sign, I believe I mentioned before, you could use stencils. Dollar Tree sometimes has letters, or you could use sticker letters, which Dollar Tree also has. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, but I decided that I wanted letters that kind of stood up or stood out more than the flat letters on that sign. So I apply my scrapbook paper to my eggs, smooth it out, make sure I have it on there nice and straight. I tuck it right up underneath the fur of my bunny ears. And I went ahead and put all of my eggs on, and here they are. Look at the pretty colors. Now this is going to pick up all the colors in the deco mesh that I used. Now for that little piece on the bottom that held the eggs that I couldn't get off, I ended up painting that white because I didn't want that wood piece on there. And I thought I was going to put the bow on there, but I ended up realizing that once I put the big bow on the wreath, I didn't need that little bow. It was just going to be hidden anyway. And as well, that base underneath those eggs, that's going to be hidden as well. So I did paint it, but I think it was a good idea to paint it. So I took a piece of ribbon, a narrow ribbon, and this you could pick up at Dollar Tree as well. They have narrow ribbons. And I'm going to put a line of Aleene's Tacky Glue. And I'm just going to glue that on the front of that sign. I was just trying to make sure there was nothing like unsightly that you could see on the sign once I put it on the wreath. So I was trying to just cover all of my creative bases, if you will, and just make sure everything looked pretty. So I just put that piece of ribbon on the front of there just to kind of make it look more cohesive, or, you know, with the color and the ribbon theme. And again, I think I even went as far as to glue that bow on, but then taking it off. Yeah, I did. I glued it on. So the next thing that I needed to do was put the letters on. And again, like you do you decide you don't even have to put the letters. You don't have to have letters at all. But if you choose to, there's, multiple options for that, which I just spoke about. That's so pretty so far. I love this wreath. I think it's just so colorful and so pretty in all Easter colors. Now, the other thing that I did to embellish my sign is I made 3 little bows, just 2 loops for the side of the bunny ears, each one of them. So I made 3 little bows that I will be hot gluing onto the side of the ear of the bunny. And here we have the letters all laid out. Now, as I mentioned, I used a little bit, there's those little bows that I talked about. I chose to go into my stash and get some nice, fresh, little bit bigger pom-poms to put on the bunny butts of those 3 bunnies. Now, I have some little sticker flowers there that I had gotten in the sticker department at Hobby Lobby at 40% off. But you could find something at Dollar Tree to also place in the center of those bows. You should be able to find something like that in the Crafter Square section. Narrow ribbons, they have them at the Dollar Tree. Not only do they have them in the regular Crafter Square section, but they also have Easter narrow ribbons. And I'm going to be placing my letters on my eggs, and I do just hot glue those. If you choose to use letters, just hot glue them on. That'll work fine. It's just getting cuter by the moment here. Oh my goodness. And there it is in all of its cuteness. The 3 bows with the little flowers in the center of the bow. The 3 cottontails for the bunnies. The letters are all glued on now. And that sign is like almost not recognizable anymore. It's completely transformed. All right, so I already filled up a lot of my wreath because I wanted to show you how I varied all of my colors. Now, when you apply your bundles, I zigzagged mine. I applied one to the second wire from the inside, and then the third wire from the inside, then the second, then the third, the second, then the third. So I just kept zigzagging them, so I filled up the whole wreath. And again, be mindful to mix up your bundles. Put the deco mesh in different order, but always put the deco mesh or the snowball tool on the top, so you can really show that off on the top of the wreath. And you just place your bundle on there, press it up against the wire, nice and firm, give it a twist in the back, and fill up that wreath frame full of beautiful bundles. I'm going to suggest you do around 24 if you use Deco Mesh Wreath. I use 16 on mine with Hobby Lobby Deco Mesh. So colorful, so pretty. See how I varied the bundles? That's very important. So you distribute your color all over. And I still have that much left of my Deco Mesh. Look at that. Nearly half a roll, really. I thought I used 2/3, but really it's more just like a half a roll of the Hobby Lobby Deco Mesh. And so I put pipe cleaners on the back of my sign, reached through my Deco Mesh, twisted that sign onto the wires of my wreath frame, and there it is. And now all we need is a gorgeous bow to put on that wreath. Now I did go in the back of the wreath and clean up all of the pipe cleaners, snip them off, poke them through so they don't scratch any surface once you put them on the door or wherever. And now I'm going to show you different options for the ribbons. That ribbon that I just showed you, I believe I got that on Amazon last year. Amazon has a lot of Easter ribbons, by the way. I have this gorgeous Celebrate ribbon, one of my favorites, in orchid. And I do have orchid deco mesh, so I'm going to be looking to put orchid on my wreath, and I'm going to look for purples, which I have right there, and that yummy shade of pink, which was also a Celebrate ribbon from Michaels. That's one of those that I got on sale. So these are the 3 ribbons that I decided on. I have pipe cleaners in a color that will coordinate with my ribbon. So I'm using the Hobby Lobby purple with white polka dots, the Michaels striped ribbon. Those are 1.5 inch. This ribbon, the beautiful pink ribbon, that is 2.5 inch, and they're all wired ribbons. So I'm going to make my loops about 10 inches long in length. I'm going to pinch my loop in the middle, leave about a 10-inch tail, twist my ribbon. Now I'm going to fold it over with the same 10 inches of length. I'm going to place my thumb down, take my other hand, scrunch it up in the center, and then put my thumb over it and hold the loops as I go. Twist my ribbon. Now I'm going to do loop number 2 on the left side. Place it down. Hold it with my thumb, with my other hand, my other fingers, scrunch it up in the center, and now hold it firm. Now we're doing loop number 2 on the right side. Now I'm going to do 3 loops on each side. So this is loop number 3 on the left side. Same 10 inches. I eyeball my loops. You can measure if you like. And then I'm going to twist my ribbon, fold it over, and do loop number 3 on the right side. Now this is going to be the base of my bow. I'm going to cut my tail off to approximately the same length as the original tail. I think I did my tail around 10 or 11 inches. And I have 3 loops on each side. I'm going to take that pink pipe cleaner, wrap it around, twist it in the back, and now all my loops will be held secure with that pink pipe cleaner. Now, for my other ribbons that I'm going to use, you can mix your width of ribbons on bows. And this is a perfect example of how pretty it can be to do that. But also mix your patterns. To me, nothing is prettier in a bow than a bow with mixed patterns. Polka dots with stripes. Even you could add a floral type of a ribbon in there. And it just looks so beautiful like that. So I'm using my purple with white polka dots ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby. Every other week, their ribbons are on sale, 40% off. So I'm folding over my loops. Now I'm making my loops a little bit smaller. I want to say around 9 inches. And I'm going to do 3 loops on each side by the same method that you just saw me do the pink base of the bow. I leave some tails around 10 inches. I'm just going to take a half a pipe cleaner there, wrap it around, and twist it in the back. Now this is layer number 2 of my mixed ribbon bow. I cut off the tail about the same length as the original tail that I started with. And these colors together look so pretty. But you could have go with just any option. I showed you that yellow spring ribbon with the flowers on it. I contemplated using that one as well because I do have yellow on the wreath. But I ended up just using the orchid purple and the pink. But you could use that ribbon. It's very pretty. 40% off in the spring department at Hobby Lobby. So this ribbon is one of my all-time favorites. Celebrate ribbon. I've bought it many times in many colors. It's just the most beautiful texture and the best behaved. If there's such a thing as good behavior in a ribbon, this is it. I love this ribbon. It just looks so fresh and beautiful on a wreath. Now, I just made this bow with 2 loops on each side. Now, you can vary it. You can do anything you want when you make a bow. And I do. I mix it up. So, for my center loop there, I'm just going to curl that ribbon under and create a loop. And I'm going to press my thumb down to secure the loop long enough for me to take a pipe cleaner from the back of the bow, poke it through the center of the loop, bring it around the back, twist it, and now you have a center loop to this very pretty bow. I snip off my ribbon, and now I have a tail on top and a tail on the bottom. So I'm just going to twist my ribbon, poke it through that center loop, bring it down, and marry it up with the other tail. And this is layer number 3, or the top layer of that beautiful mixed ribbon bow. And this is going to be coordinating with all those beautiful colors on that wreath. Now we're going to be stacking all of these together. So what I do is I place the bow in my hand and I position my hand or my thumb right through the center of the tail. So I'm separating the tails essentially. And for my second layer, I snip off the back of the pipe cleaner because I want that bow to be very flush up against the other bow. So I snip off the pipe cleaner in the back just so I can make that a little bit more flush. Layer number 2 is on the bow, and notice how I have one tail on each side of my hand. Every bow to me has a midline, and that's where my hand, you'll always see my hand right down the center. I do have bow tutorials, a number of them. If you look on my playlist of videos, if you need some additional help with your bows, I do a very slow, methodical tutorial, or actually multiple tutorials on how I create my bows. So now I have all 3 of my layers of bows all together. Now, I'm showing you there I have needle nose pliers. I often use my needle nose pliers to get my ribbons to just really basically squish together very firmly in the center. Remember, you have the pipe cleaners that you wrapped around the bows. Well, if you use your needle nose pliers and you stick them right through the center loop, and squish your all those layers together, you'll get an even more flush application of the bow to the bow layers to bow layers. So I just I put a pipe cleaner through the center there, and I twist it in the back, secure all that together, and now I have an absolutely gorgeous bow with beautiful Easter colors. And there it is on the wreath. I just reached my fingers to the deco mesh, found a wreath wire, and twisted that bow right onto the wreath frame. And this is one beautiful wreath, and I hope you love it. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this tutorial. And leave me your comments. Let me know what you think of this one. Okay? Until next time, you all take care.